Hello guys. Let's start today's AMA. Yeah,
Let's
can
start.
you hear me?
Hey, definitely. That sounds
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, I thought there's a lot of people joining us. So, hello guys, welcome to today's AMA. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And thank you guys for being here with us today. And as usual, we got David and Ian from Mango Network with us today. And yeah, could you guys say hi to everyone? David?
Definitely. Hello. It's very nice to be in front of all of you today again. Today we'll kick off our, what is it, third or fourth weekly AMA already? We've
Yeah,
been,
liquidity fragmentation. We're gonna talk about this.
say
Ian,
again?
um, we're gonna talk about liquidity fragmentation in the blockchain.
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
So, we're just going to be continuing on all our previous Mango Network Twitter Spaces, right? Just continuing to dive into the monstrosity and all the amazing features that Mango brings, and to be able to give you all the answers that you've been waiting for and get all your questions answered. So I'm sure we have some wonderful questions prepared here. My name is David. I'm the CTO of Mango Network. And I help the team to design an amazing blockchain that enables us to onboard like the next billion users in Web3 by providing a single access point in the blockchain ecosystem for everything that is to come. And I think that brings a lot of opportunity to build things, and a lot of opportunity for end users. And today we will touch on that a little bit. Arjen, you want to give a quick word?
Yeah, thanks, David. Hi, my name is Aryan, and I'm the head of North America for the Mango Network, and we are layer 2 solutions, and we are going to solve lots of issues the other blockchain which is facing. And thank you for coming here today to listen our conversation about Mango Network and its ability to do certain things better than other blockchains.
yeah. Cool. Thank you, David. Thank you, Ian. So for today's AMA, we are gonna talk about the current situation about the liquidity fragmentation in blockchain because we know there are a lot of L1s, L2s, and I think I don't know others, but it drives me crazy because a lot of chains I have to put my money everywhere, and it is like for me it is a huge trouble, and I think for the whole industry it caused a huge problem of the liquidity fragmentation. But Mango, as we know, Omni-Chain, it can be like combining all the chains together and with one chain. So liquidity fragmentation presents a significant challenge. And this fragmentation occurs when liquidity is dispersed across multiple platforms and blockchains, a lot of L1s and L2s, and a lot of DEXs, and leading to huge efficiencies and reduced market depth. That's for sure. And to address these issues, we're gonna like first of all we're gonna learn about the core concept of the fragmentation and to explore how Mango to deal with it. So let's explore this concept in detail. So first, let's understand the core concept for IEN. I want to ask IEN, what is the exactly liquidity fragmentation in the context of blockchain? Can you answer that? IEN, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
yeah, thank you, Sharon. I totally agree with you. It's basically the assets, the liquidity fragmentation is basically from the blockchain context. It means that assets are assets and trading activities across multiple blockchain. So how many blockchain do we need, and how many plays, how many DEX exchanges that we needed for this trading activity? And it is very confusing, like how many apps that you need to download, right? So that's why today I'm gonna talk about what is the disadvantage of this, liquidity fragmentation is doing within the blockchain. So the number one is it basically reduce the trading volume. So imagine that we have 500 or 1,000, and, DEX exchanges and centralized exchanges and everywhere. So the trading volume is like every exchange is like different, and like for example, like liquidity is less, and if you like for example, if I want to execute a very large amount of like want to buy a Bitcoin, and then like then I can basically impact the price of that Bitcoin if I'm buying it through all these trading exchanges everywhere. Also, the second one is price discrepancies, meaning that every exchange, every DEX that you see, like if you take a list of 500, and everywhere the price of Bitcoin is completely different. There is sometimes there is a difference is like a $500 to $1,000. So this is a big issues for us when this happens. And then also the third point I would like to talk is a higher cost. So traders may incur higher costs due to slippage. So every place that you try to swap or trade, there's a slippage cost. Some places charge 10% percentage. Some places where they charge like 25 percentage. So it's unbelievable, like it's crazy. And also is the fourth point is in efficiency. Fragmented liquidity can lead to inefficiencies in the market as a lack of centralized liquidity pool, and that can make it harder to match buyers and sellers. So basically, since we have so many of those things all over the world, it's very hard to match people who want to buy and sell, because everyone, every DEX, every centralized exchange, where you have a number of users focusing on that exchange and DEX. So we are not basically connecting everyone into one common place. And then because of this, it's also making decreased market depth. With the liquidity spread across multiple platforms, the market depth in each individual platform may shallow, making it extremely difficult to handle a large order without causing any significant price. So, to solution to address this liquidity fragmentation, including the development of cross-chain protocol, which is Mango Network is trying to solve this. So we basically provide a liquidity, aggregators and interoperability solution like those offered by us, like in Mango Network or like Omni-Chain. So the Omni-Chain is a solution for this the liquidity fragmentation, and that's why we are building this awesome Mango Network solution to address all the issues that liquidity fragmentation is causing all over the world for the blockchain users who can utilize this platform really well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Excellent insights. So, like now we understand the liquidity fragmentation is. So, what the common solutions to address that kind of question? Can you answer that, Ian?
Yeah. So the common solution is that one of the solution that we have, did I
Mm-hmm.
lose? Is being DEX. So being DEX is one of the solution that from Mongo network that we provided, where you can basically, um, uh, you know, uh, where we can aggregate liquidity from multiple decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges and put it in one place. So one example is being DEX, which we build on top of Mongo network. And the other one is cross chain bridges. So basically, the definition is protocols that enable transfer of asset and liquidity between different blockchain networks, and that also we offer in Mongo network. And then also the third point is interoperability protocols, which is a technology that enable different blockchain network to communicate and interact with either each other. Again, we are addressing that in Mongo network itself. The other one is unified liquidity pools, which is that is a shared across multiple platform and protocol, often facilitated by DeFi projects. Again, Mongo network going to address that, and that's why we are developing that solution itself. And then the other one is a decentralized finance, DeFi, like everyone knows, right? It's financial application built on blockchain technology that provides service such as a lending and borrowing, trading, and without any middleman. Again, Mongo network going to solve that problem. And then the layer two solution, protocol built on top of existing blockchain to increase transactions, speed, and reduce the cost without compromising the security. Again, the Mongo network going to address that problem and provide the solution, and that's why the Mango Network Layer 2 Omni-Chain going to address most of the issues that we are currently facing. And that's why I'm so excited to be part of this project right now.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we know like Bindex is one of the core application on Mango network. So thank you for like mention about the common solutions and also Mango's solution for the issue. But I think David could add more on that because in the white paper it's mentioned that Mango network aims to build a one-stop liquidity service network. And could you like elaborate on the technical mechanisms by which Mango Network's main chain and modular, like the contract facilitate this integration and how they ensure seamless liquidity across multiple chains? David?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I have some thoughts about that. Um, Let me repeat the question. So just to elaborate on the technical mechanisms by which Mango Network's main chain and modular contracts facilitate the integration, right? And how do we seamlessly bridge liquidity across multiple chains? Well, the answer is simple slash complex, and it's that Mango Network addresses liquidity fragmentation through its innovative use of main chain and modular contracts. This means that the main chain contract forms the core infrastructure of the network, providing a stable and secure foundation for transaction processing and asset management. So that's where all the core logic of the chain itself happens, where all the state management happens, where everything is stored basically. And then we also have modular contracts deployed on each individual chain, and they are responsible for the interaction and sending the liquidity back and forth between the chains, right? And these contracts are designed to be highly interoperable, enabling seamless communication and transaction execution across various blockchain networks. The modular contracts, on the other hand, they act as very specialized components in that they can be easily integrated and replaced without affecting the overall system. This means that you can also easily integrate new chains, basically, and which is very nice that if in the future a new chain comes out, basically a different blockchain, that we can also integrate with that, right? So in that way, we are sort of like future compatible. And this modularity also allows for the rapid deployment of new features and services, ensuring that the network can quickly adapt to changes in the market or by technologies. By using standardized interface and protocols like we do at Mango, and we ensure that these modular contracts can interact smoothly with the main chain contracts and with each other. So that may sound very technical, but all of that is just to facilitate the efficient liquidity aggregation and distribution among different chains, basically. And one small addition to that is with Mango, we also use an advanced routing algorithm to dynamically direct liquidity where it's needed the most, optimizing asset utilization and minimizing idle capital, right? And all of these approaches just enhance the user experience by providing more liquidity options and also to ensure that the liquidity is available across all the different chains. which is quite a revolutionary thing to be able to easily be able to access all these different liquidities, right, without building singular bridges. So getting quick and easy access to all the different liquidity pools across different chains, that provides a lot of opportunities. So that is a quick technical background into exactly how all of that works.
Thank you. Yeah, that explain. David explained more like about how Mango to tackle this kind of a situation. And as well, like the cross-chain bridges is one of the solution to help mitigate the liquidity fragmentation. And how does it do that? Can Ian to explain that a little bit? Ian, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. So thank you. So basically, the cross-chain bridge help migrate liquidity fragmentation by enabling the transfer and interaction of asset across multiple blockchain. For example, when we transfer, when we do an asset transfer, the function is a cross-chain bridge, allow users to move their asset from one blockchain to another without any issues. So, example like moving, Ethereum-based asset to Binance Smart Chain or vice versa. And the other one is interoperability. It allows communication and interoperability between uh, uh, disparate blockchain network. Example, like for example, using protocol like for example, say Polkadot or Cosmos inter-blockchain communication, so that within our Mango network, so those interoperability bridge that we enable, so where a developer can establish or develop an API where they can talk with multiple blockchains. And then also with the Mongo network, we offer like a unified liquidity pools. It allow cross-chain bridge can aggregate liquidity from a different blockchain into a single pool. Example again, I'm going to bring that being DEX that use a cross-chain technology to pool liquidity from Ethereum, BSC, or Polygon, or other, other blockchains, and bring into one centralized platform. The benefits is polling provides deeper liquidity, better pricing, and more efficient trading. And the other one is that enhanced market efficiency. So the Mongo network Omni-Chain enable cross-chain transaction bridges, reduce the efficiencies caused by fragmentation liquidity. For example, how we can help is a trader can access liquidity on multiple chains through a single platform that utilize a cross-chain bridge, and that is the another solution that we offer. So as you can see that we have, the cross-chain Mongo network, the Omni-Chain platform offer various a solution to the existing problem which we are currently facing in the blockchain ecosystem.
Yeah, bridges. Yeah, firstly, bridges are the existing solutions, but as Ian said before, we believe that soon, along with the development of Omni-Chain such as Mango Network, it will be more easier and more convenient for users, for every crypto users to save their trouble from the different chains, different bridges. Yeah, let's shift our focus to the programming aspects. I want to give this question to David. The white paper highlights the advantages of a move programming language in enhancing its security and efficiency, and how does move especially address the liquidity fragmentation through its resources-oriented programming and static core features, and also, what are the practical implications for this DeFi protocols, David?
Yeah, definitely. That's a mouthful. That's one big question. So just to provide some background context to the for the listeners here. So Move is a programming language that we use on the Mango blockchain to write all the smart contracts basically. And it's also the language that the core smart contract has been written in, right? So Move is a very important and integral part of the Mango blockchain network. And it also contributes to liquidity defragmentation, basically to unifying all the liquidity, right? And what's the rules there specifically? So Move has a couple interesting features that we can talk about there. So the Move programming language offers several key features that address liquidity fragmentation as well, particularly through its resource-oriented programming model and the static call features. So those are two important things. The resource-oriented programming treats digital assets as first-class citizens with specific attributes and constraints. This model assures that assets are managed with a high degree of precision and security and reducing the risk of fragmentation caused by improper handling or malicious activities. So this is very different as opposed to, for example, what we know in different blockchains like Ethereum, where you program in Solidity. There you don't. There you just treat it as like as a number basically, and not as a specific resource itself. So there's not as much built-in protection around around making financial transactions like that, and therefore also as an end result, sort of the liquidity can become more fragmented, right? So in Move, resources are not merely numerical values like they are in, for example, other blockchains, but entities with properties such as ownership and transfer rules, which is actually very useful. So, for example, you can say that one specific resource can only be transferred within a family, for example, just to give a silly example. If you would have a resource that would be grandma's painting, then you can program in the rule that grandma's painting can only be passed around within the family and not outside of the family, right? So you can add these very specific rules to the resources themselves, which provides a lot more security. And they're also enforced at the language level. And this abstraction prevents common issues like double spending or re-entry attacks, as we know them from other blockchains, which can definitely disrupt liquidity flow and fragmentation on the market. And then the second point that I mentioned, the static calls, that just further enhances the security by ensuring that all function calls are determined at compile time, eliminating the risks associated with dynamic calls. And the difference there is that an dynamic call, it's when you're running the code that it gets evaluated, whereas a static call, if it gets sort of pre-evaluated during compilation, and just to double check that everything is secure, and it's like an extra security implementation there. And because dynamic calls, which are often found in other programming languages, such as Solidity, they can be very unpredictable, and vulnerabilities and exploits arise from that, right? So by using more static calls, Move ensures that the behavior of the contract is fully known and verified before the execution, and this significantly reduces the attack surface. And then specifically for DeFi protocols, these features translate to more secure and reliable smart contracts. So DeFi applications often handle large volumes of assets and require a high degree of trust and security because, of course, the platform or the DEX that you use to swap all your assets, you want to make sure that it's very, very secure, right? So there's a lot of trust and security involved in these spaces, and the language, the core at which the blockchain is written in, just makes this all the more secure, right? So the resource-oriented model ensures that assets are always handled correctly, and that while static calls provide an additional layer of security by preventing unexpected behavior, this results in more robust DeFi protocols that can aggregate and distribute liquidity more effectively by reducing fragmentation and improving the overall efficiency of the network. So these are a couple mechanisms by which the language that was picked specifically to program Mango in also helps with liquidity defragmentation.
Great. Moving forward, like a better question, let's examine like Mango Network's infrastructure. Mango Network claims to provide a secure, modular, and high-performance Web3 infrastructure. Can you dive into how these attributes contribute to mitigating liquidity fragmentation, and what specific challenges in the current DeFi landscape Mango Network are designed to overcome? David?
Yeah, definitely. So at the core, right, Mango Network's secure, modular, and high-performance Web3 infrastructure addresses several critical challenges in the DeFi landscape that directly contribute to the mitigation of liquidity fragmentation. So we have security, we have modularity, and we have high performance. So security, it's a little bit of what we talked about in the previous question, right? On a very technical level, the foundation of Mango Network's infrastructure is its robust security architecture, utilizing the Move programming language, which is designed with security as a primary focus. Mango Networks ensures that smart contracts are less prone to vulnerabilities and exploits. The language formal verification tools, that's something that we talked about in previous spaces, that allows developers to mathematically prove the correctness and security of their contracts before deployment. And as a result, this also reduces the likelihood of security breaches that can disrupt the liquidity flow and fragment the market. And also previously mentioned again, the static calls greatly help here with the virtual machine sandboxing as well, further isolating and securing the contract execution to prevent malicious activities that could lead to liquidity fragmentation, of course. And then the second one of those three that we talked about is modularity. So Mango Network's modular approach allows for very flexible and rapid updates or enhancements to the network without causing disruptions, which is a really, really cool feature actually. Each component of the network can independently be upgraded or replaced, enabling the system to quickly adapt to new technologies, regulatory changes, or market demands. So this means that even if you wrote a program already, if you're depending on some other piece of code that is written by someone else, and if this code gets updated by this other person, your code automatically benefits from that as well, like without having to do anything. And this flexibility ensures that Mango Network can integrate additional liquidity sources and DeFi services seamlessly, enhancing the overall liquidity pool and reducing fragmentation. And the modular design also promotes interoperability with other blockchains and other blockchain networks and protocols, further consolidating liquidity across the different platforms, right? So modularity forms one of the core aspects of Mango Network's blockchain landscape, basically, and it's one of the core selling features of why users would use Mango Network as a blockchain. And then last but not least, of course, the high performance with astonishing high transaction throughput of almost 300,000 transactions per second, to be very specific, like 297,000 on its DevNet. Mango Network can handle a large volume of transactions simultaneously, and the high performance is crucial for maintaining liquidity flow and minimizing delays in transaction processing. And this, of course, ensures that users can execute transactions rapidly without experiencing bottlenecks that could fragment liquidity. And the network's high scalability supports a growing number of participants and transaction volumes while maintaining low latency and high efficiency even as the ecosystem expands, right? So that's just to touch on like the three core aspects of security, modularity, and high performance, and specifically how they impact the liquidity fragmentation from a technical standpoint within Mango Network, of course.
Yeah, I think, yeah, with the three features that you talked about before, I think Mango definitely can tackle the issue of the liquidity issues. So finally, let's dive to Mango more. So let's discuss the importance of Mango's formal verification and the distributed storage. The formal verification and distributed storage are key aspects mentioned in the white paper. And how do these features of Mango Move contribute to solving liquidity fragmentation, and what benefits do they offer in terms of data security and transaction reliability in the fragmented liquidity environment? This is the last question. David, please. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we're just kicking at with all the technical questions today. So specifically about formal verification and distributed storage. Well, formal verification, like I said, is something that we've briefly touched on previous in one of the other spaces. But yeah, formal verification and distributed storage are critical features of Mango Move that contribute significantly to solving liquidity fragmentation and enhancing data security and transaction reliability. So, formal verification that involves using mathematical methods to prove the correctness and security of smart contracts before they are deployed. This process basically ensures that contracts behave as intended and are free from vulnerabilities that could be exploited to disrupt the liquidity flow, right? And in the context of Mango Move, formal verification tools such as Move Prover allow developers to specify and verify the expected behavior of their contracts rigorously. So just the extra layer of testing here makes sure that you don't get any exploit, or like the likelihood of exploits is significantly lower, which is obviously what you want when dealing with all your money. And this reduces the risk of bugs and security flaws that could lead to liquidity fragmentation by causing contracts to malfunction or to be exploited. And by providing a higher level of assurance and contract security, formal verification fosters a greater trust and stability in the DeFi ecosystem, encouraging more users and liquidity providers to participate. So that's just a very brief overview that I want to give there on like formal verification, and there's a lot of technical concepts that go behind it. And if that's something that you're interested in, then of course check out the white paper and check out all the other resources that are available online. But to keep it brief, that's why formal verification specifically is like one of the very important aspects within the Move language, and also why one of the key aspects why we chose the Move language, right? For Mango Network. And then distributed storage, the second part of the question. Distributed storage enhances data security by decentralizing the storage of contract data across multiple nodes. In traditional systems, centralized storage creates a single point of failure, right? If all your data is stored on a single server and that server goes offline, well, then the data is not available anymore. By making the entire network vulnerable, if everything would be stored on a single server, like a central node, if the central node would be compromised, right? And Mango Move's distributed storage model ensures that the contract data is stored in a decentralized manner, so meaning on multiple nodes on multiple servers, where each user's account manages its own data. This approach provides several key benefits, basically. So we have security, we have ownership, and we have resiliency, of course, resilience. Where security is just the data is less vulnerable to attacks because you're not as vulnerable to a single compromised node, right? If you have only have one server where your data lives and that server gets hacked, well, you're compromised, you're doomed. Whereas if it lives on multiple nodes, then of course that is not as big of a problem because you still have your other backups. And then of course the ownership. Users retain true ownership of their data as it's stored on their own accounts rather than a central authority, which aligns perfectly with the decentralized nature and the principles of sovereignty in Web3, of course. And then last but not least, I think I mentioned before that resilience is a very important benefit there, which is the distributed nature of storage ensures that data remains available and intact even if some nodes go offline or are compromised. This enhances the reliability and continuity of the network, preventing disruptions that could lead to liquidity fragmentation. So together, basically, formal verification and distributed storage create a much more secure and reliable environment for managing digital assets. And this also for solving the liquidity fragmentation problem that is currently existent in the blockchain landscape. And by ensuring that smart contracts are secure and the data is resiliently stored, Mango Move reduces the risk associated with liquidity fragmentation. And yeah, that's at the end of the day what we're all gunning for, to reduce liquidity fragmentation and make it easy for end people, like for the end user, to use. So in motto of that, I will pass it over again.
Yeah, thank you. That explained a lot. Yeah, I think in conclusion, addressing the liquidity fragmentation is a it is a crucial it's a pretty crucial issue for the advancement of the whole DeFi ecosystem and the blockchain industry, and Mango Network, through its innovative use of Move programming language and cross-chain and the Omni-Chain and the robust modular infrastructure, it offers a promising solutions to this challenge. Like by ensure secure, efficient, and integrated liquidity service, Mango also aims to create a more cohesive and efficient DeFi landscape. I think we can learn that from Ayan and David today. So, Ayan, do you want to add something on this?
No, so basically,
Mm-hmm.
like all the things that we heard today, that
Mm-hmm.
because we have a large amount of blockchain and different type of blockchains which is available, and to solve all the problems, the layer 2 solution and omni-chain solution which we are building is going to be a benefit for all the developers to come into a one centralized place to solve all the existing problems that we are facing right now. And that is why Mongo Network will stand out from every other blockchain which is out there.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is that is all for today's AMA. We talked a lot about what the liquidity fragmentation is, and how the common solutions to address that, and how Mango to address that. Yeah, I think everyone like me will believe that Mango will solve that this kind of situation in a short time with its Omni-Chain solutions. Yeah, thank you again to everyone who joined us today. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for the wonderful insights and excellent points from David and Ian. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we will continue our conversation on next Monday, this time UTC +2. So everyone, please stay tuned and subscribe us and for the next AMA as well. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Ian, David.
It's been a
See,
pleasure.
yeah,
Thank
see you
you.
guys next time. Thank
Bye bye,
you.
guys.
Bye
Bye.
bye.